John Thompson suffered mesothelioma due to exposure to asbestos. CSR admitted liability for that exposure, but there was a dispute as to the damages to be paid. Thompson died before the matter reached the High Court and was represented by Eddy, his administrator. Thompson's wife suffered from osteoarthritis, and before he fell ill, she had relied on him extensively for assistance with the activities of daily life. At law, this is known as gratuitous assistance. In a previous case called Griffith and Kirkemeyer, the court determined that the victim of a tort, who as a result of that injury required the gratuitous assistance of family members, could claim compensation for the value of that assistance. In a later case called Sullivan and Gordon, the court in New South Wales had extended this principle to cover gratuitous assistance which the plaintiff was no longer in a position to provide to someone else. So in short, Thompson was no longer able to assist his wife, and this assistance had value for which compensation was claimed. The High Court had never previously considered whether Sullivan and Gordon was correctly decided. This became that case. The majority judges noted Griffiths and Kirkemeyer is anomalous in departing from the usual rule that damages, other than damages payable for loss not measurable in money, are not recoverable for an injury unless the injury produces actual financial loss. They said there were three usual types of damages. The first covers non-pecuniary losses such as pain and suffering, disfigurement, loss of limbs or organs, loss of the senses, sight, taste, hearing, smell and touch, and loss of the capacity to engage in hobbies, sport, work, marriage and childbearing. The second type of loss is loss of earning capacity both before the trial and after it. The third type of recoverable loss is actual financial loss, for example, ambulance charges, charges for medical, hospital and professional nursing services, etc. Ultimately, the court found that Sullivan and Gordon went too far because it was essentially compensating for the losses of someone who was not even the victim of the tort. In this case, the loss was suffered by Mrs. Thompson, who was not affected by the defendant's asbestos at all. The court seemed to have some sympathy, but ultimately found that if these types of damages were to be paid, the decision should be made by Parliament making statute and not by unelected courts.